Well, today, chapter 2 begins, and honestly, we're really pumped up. I'm going with Nestor to dismantle all the bodywork to leave the chassis bare.
And yeah, this is me. Before everything went to hell.
Chapter 2, Part 2, the first big problem. What happened to us? We've been analyzing the project a lot, and we realized that we have a major problem. We don't have the budget to go with support, so the idea is to change the car. Why? Because Chula's a 90. When we measure the roll cage, we realize that neither spare parts nor tools, nothing will fit. So the idea will be to go with a 110, which we'll be showing you, and there we'll be able to carry some spares and tools, and it'd be the low-cost way to tackle the project. So with that first big problem comes the first question: which car are we going with? The truth is, we have a lot of Land Rovers. We have 110s, but we need something we can do pretty fast. So we're going to introduce you to Trano. Trano, as I mentioned, is a Land Rover 110, which is a project that was left abandoned back in the day, in the back of the shop where we keep all the junk, let's say. And it's a car that's already quite stripped down, so we think it's a good idea to bring it into the shop and start taking apart what's left to send the chassis for sandblasting.
And now Juancito has taken out the Series 3, which honestly is a car we're quite fond of, and we didn't want to scratch it. Besides, the shop was full of stuff, and we didn't have room for anything. We worked pretty hard and got Trano in because the brakes were totally seized up. It took a lot to get it in, but, well, it doesn't look like it on camera, but it was quite a struggle. Here, Juan starts taking out all the crap the car had, which wasn't a little, and I start taking off the doors. To then take out all the sills, floors, and the seat box, which is usually totally stuck, and this one was more than most. Once I take out the seat box, I have no choice but to move on to the entire cargo bed. I start taking out the inner bolts of the bed, to then continue with the angle grinder and a bit of force on the rear part. Meanwhile, Juan is dismantling the entire bulkhead, which is what he likes, or what I like the least. And here, once we have all the bolts loose, we take the bed out, rip out the bulkhead, seat box out, and leave the chassis bare. And with the chassis bare, we load it onto the truck and take it to Salva to have it sandblasted. And now I had a little time and went to film at Salva's because I wanted to show you this process. Sandblasting is a fundamental part of restoration because what happens with these cars is they rust, and people, just to give them a facelift, paint them underneath. And honestly, what they do is mess it up because the car is left with a lot of hidden defects, and you'll see here in the video that impressive holes appear and things we didn't see at first. And I think that's the foundation of restoration. The important thing is to start with a clean base to know what we really have to repair.
Well, and now the fun part really begins. We're in the shop, we brought the chassis back from sandblasting, and we have the whole chassis with an epoxy primer. We like to use Jotomastic by Jotun because it's a marine grade paint, so the protection we're giving the chassis is very good. It's a really great epoxy. What's the good thing about sandblasting? That once we sandblast, we find all the flaws. There are a lot of hidden defects that we didn't see before, and now they're showing up. If you look closely, I don't know if the camera shows it, but we have the central frame rails that are with a significant hole. We have the shock towers that have flaws. We also have the rear bumper that's trashed, and there are many things we didn't see before, some yes and others now. So since this chassis is very important because it's going to the Dakar, we want everything to be in top condition. And at this point, what we have to do is start organizing things because honestly, we have little time, and if we don't get a move on, we're screwed. What are we gonna do? Robin is taking the chassis. What does Robin have to do at rear bumper? Because it's destroyed, honestly, it's useless. They did some makeshift job there, I don't know what, but anyway, it has to be replaced. We have to repair the central frame rails on the sides of the lower parts, body mounts, well, I already said central frame rails, the coil spring seats, and the chassis ends. Robin has taken all of that, and this week or by the next episode, we should have the chassis back here painted. Then Juan is going to take care of the gearbox and the transfer case. The good thing is that this Land Rover is going to have an R380 gearbox, which is the heavy-duty one, the one we like. So we already have a good foundation there. He's going to have to service it. Nestor is going to start on the engine. The engine we're taking to the trophy is the car's original engine, and it's one we had that was in good condition. What are we going to do to it? We're going to change the head gasket first. First, we're going to measure compression. If the compression's good, we'll change the head gasket and do the full injection system. The water pump gets replaced. We're putting in a heavy-duty clutch, all the seals, belts, hoses, and all the fluids. With that, we want to go to the trophy, and we believe we won't have any problems. For the Dakar, we're going to take a rebuilt engine, brand new and with some upgrades. Ruko is going to handle the brakes. We're putting ventilated and slotted ones in the front and better ones in the back. He has to do the axles completely. For now, we're going with the original axles, but we are going to change the seals, bearings, all of that. The suspension. As I don't know if I mentioned before, we're going to put in one we have, let's see. It has the coil springs that are for a bit more weight because in the trophy, we're going to be carrying quite a bit of weight. And the shocks are gas ones, slightly upgraded. In the future, we'll go with remote reservoir shocks. All the ball joints, the steering, we're going to put in heavy-duty steering rods, bushings. We're putting in Teflon bushings, and the drive shaft and all that will be serviced. And what's left is that Gusty. Gusty is the body and paint guy, already has the bulkhead. He's working on the bulkhead. Why is it the first thing on the Land Rover? Because it lets us mount the bulkhead and then all the mechanical parts. So Gusty starts with the mechanics. No, not the mechanics, the bulkhead. And when he's done with that, he'll move on to the cargo bed. And well, now comes the craziest part of the whole project, of this entire episode. Let's say it's January 19th and we're recording. We have until the 26th. If it's April 26th, 2026, that's the trophy. So from the 19th to the 26th, there are 91 days. 91 days. What's the catch? This is complicated. That we have to ship the car about 15 days early. 15 days early because we're in the Canary Islands. So 91 minus 15, if we put 11 here, 6, this one borrowed 1, so I have 76 days. 76 days to finish the project. Oh no, on top of that, this is from when we first recorded this episode. What happened? The camera's memory got wiped and we messed up. Everything was gone. So we're recording for the second time. And no, today is the 21st. So that means if we had 76, we now have 74 days. We have 74 days to take this scrap metal and get it to Morocco. So what can I say? If you want to support us, see if we're able to finish the project, if you like the story, I'm going to ask you for 3 favors. Subscribe, hit the like button, and click this, which, even though it looks like a trash bag Nacho made, is the bell icon. So when you see the trash bag or the bell, you click it and you'll get notifications for all our videos. See ya.